Right now, time for the men's 1500 meter. Let's go down to
Vern, with two quality competitors in the finals, the 1500-meter race is a chance for Arkansas to rack up more team points. Now, having great milers is nothing new for Arkansas. It's a great tradition that began back in the 70s. Niall O'Shaughnessy was Arkansas's first 1500 All-American 16 years ago. While a Razorback, he nearly broke the indoor world record. In the 80s, it was Frank O'Mara, a national champion, who also went on to win 2 indoor titles in the 3000. Joe Falcon followed, winning the 1500 3 times at the NCAAs. It's a history that serves today's Razorbacks well.
Just being in Arkansas, I feel like, it's been a great tradition over the years with people like Joe Falcon, Frank O'Mara, Paul Donovan. The list goes on and on. It's just a great tradition.
It's just a lot of fun to carry on the tradition, to keep the excellence going, and that's what we try to do. We just try to perform really well and, of course, do our best. That's all John asks, and prepares us well enough that when we do our best, hopefully we're up in the front.
Andrea, here's the lineup for the men's 1500 meter, and yet again, notice the presence of Arkansas. Third from the top, Niall Bruton. Second from the bottom, John Schiefer. An example of the great depth and talent this Arkansas team has.
In a way, a bit of a disappointment. Bruton here is the indoor champion at the mile in this distance, but Arkansas had 6 men in the SEC final. They only have 2 here. The other Arkansas runner is Schiefer, but the man I think may be the favorite, Mark Carroll. He does have the fastest time of the year in this event, but he shows great turnover, great finishing speed. There's John Schiefer. He's from Salt Lake City. Cut his hair for this meet. And the man who will be nervous throughout, John McDonnell. This is his bread and butter event. The event he hopes will wrap up yet another team title for Arkansas.
Men's 1500 meter.
And sprinting hard on the inside is Louis Quintana, who, but for a very lackluster semifinal, probably would have been our favorite here. He won the IC4A championship on the East Coast, beating Mark Carroll from Providence, but he looked very ineffective in the semi, and I think he's decided that a fast pace is in his interest, and that's why he's taken the lead.
Quintana has changed his appearance. You wouldn't know it to look at him now, but he was a rock musician. Still is, as far as it goes. And he has the early lead.
And he's rocking and rolling right now, as this is a very fast pace. Many times championship 1500 meters become tactical affairs where guys with big kicks win. And Quintana doesn't want it to be left to that. He's run a 3:57 mile on a relay already this year. And he's taken them through in 55 seconds at the 400 meters. Very few of the runners in this race have ever run so fast for a first 400 meters in a 1500.
Edo of Northeastern is currently running second, and Tim Pitcher of Tennessee is third. John Schiefer of Arkansas currently in fourth.
This will change the entire complexion of the race, as he now has almost a 15-meter lead on the rest of the field. And they know he's for real. You know, it's not like it's a rabbit, somebody who's out there who they think will die at the end. This man has run faster than anyone else in the race for a mile this season.
Craig, I detect the surprise in your voice.
Well, I admire this guy. Here's a guy, he didn't have a good semifinal race. He obviously felt that a slow pace was not in his interest. This is a mature run for a very good runner.
Meanwhile, the two Razorbacks are still in the middle of the pack. Louis Quintana.
1:54 at the 800 meters, so he's still running sub 60-second pace. In case you need help with math, 1:54 and 1:54, that would be a sub 350 mile if they were running a mile. They're running the metric mile, 1,500 meters, about 120 yards less than a mile, and they haven't cleared the distance at all. What the rest of the field needs to do, Vern, is to get together and start working their way back up towards Quintana, because it's only a lap and a quarter to go. 500 meters left in this race.
This is really extraordinary. Quintana way out in front. And then the rest of the field. Mark Carroll has moved into second.
A year ago at the NCAAs, he ran what he called a stupid race. He didn't even get out of the semifinal heat. But now the race started in earnest, and Providence has done something smart. They're in second and third with Mark Carroll and Andy Keith, both good kickers and guys who can work together. 256 at 1200, so he's starting to slow, Vern.
And on the outside, Marco Kors of Illinois has moved into second and is about to overtake Quintana.
And you may be witnessing history. Kors is an Olympian in 800 meters for Holland. He's rarely run this event. Really just wanted to give it a try. But don't give up on Keith, who's in second, a former indoor champion in the mile.
Marco Kors as they head for home. The two Arkansas runners are currently in 5th and 6th. Marco Kors has the lead. The sophomore from Illinois wins it. Keith and Carroll from Providence were 2nd and 3rd.
And Vern Bruton got up for 4th place in Arkansas. But Marco Kors, a guy who used to be thought of as an 800-meter runner, is now going to be thought of as a miler. 3:38 unofficially. That's worth about a 3:56 mile. I think they'll be celebrating over in his native country of Holland. And Louis Quintana from Villanova changed the complexion of this race, and John McDonald can't be happy as Schiefer only got 11th. Only 5 points in this event for Arkansas.
Marco Kors wins it. Andy Keith and Mark Carroll of Providence finish 2nd and 3rd. The Razorbacks, however, do retain their team lead. We'll return to New Orleans after this commercial message and a word from your local station.